Some Huntsville Utilities customers have been notified that their accounts have been debited, all due to one of President Trump's executive orders. Huntsville Utilities tells Fox 54 that some customers who receive grant money from the federal government through local community action agencies now need to pay that money back. This is a direct result of President Trump's executive order to rescind federal funding. And although a federal judge did block this order last month, today, that judge found the Trump administration did not fully follow his order.
Accounts have been debited. They're just taking money out of people's accounts as part of their utility bill. Oh, Trump cut off all that money. That's been helping pay your utility bill, Alabama. And so now we're going to start taking all that money back. And by the way, you owe. You owe. You have to pay money more than you have been, not only for your additional bills. You have to pay back what Trump is no longer allowing to be spent.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for Yellowhammer Now. Not a single day will go by in this administration where you don't have someone like Rachel Maddow from MSNBC breathlessly reporting how terrible everything has gotten in this country. And any dollar cut from any program anywhere is an absolute murder of citizens everywhere. That's how it will be framed. They will also now tell you, after spending years, decades even, suggesting Alabama is a welfare state, telling you that if Alabama does not get every dollar it was getting last year, that the sky will fall on the state, and that will be the fault of one Katie Britt and Tommy Tuberville. UAB, Redstone Arsenal, and other places, if the government does see massive cuts, we'll see cuts. That's how things are going to happen. That's a reality. And yes, that's exactly what people voted for.
Congresswoman Terry Sewell is from Alabama. Alabama, not exactly a bleeding heart blue state, right? Congresswoman Sewell says that when she convened a town hall last night, they had more than 20,000 people on the line from her district. More than 20,000 people in Alabama, in one congressional district in Alabama. Alabama voted for Trump by like a 30-point margin in the election in November. But you know what the largest employer is in Alabama? It's the Redstone Arsenal at Huntsville, Alabama. And every day, that is where 30 or 40,000 federal employees of various stripes go to work, or people whose jobs are funded by the federal government and its appropriations. That's the largest employer in the state of Alabama. You know what the second largest employer is in the state of Alabama? It's the University of Alabama at Birmingham, which, like all large research universities, has just been shot in both proverbial kneecaps.
And yes, these cuts could have some serious impacts on Alabama as a whole. That's true. But the framing here that the people in this state didn't understand this at the time is laughable. That's not the case. We understand this. Everyone can't come to the trough and say, no, not me, not me, not me. That just cannot happen. You have to cut things wisely and smartly. Will this administration do that? I don't know the answer to that question, and neither do these people. What they've decided to do is that at any time a cut is done, pretend it's a real problem and the end is near. That's the reason why they use the story from WAFF 48 News in North Alabama. It's why they use that story and suggest that those 100 people that had to pay $100 more for their electric bill were having that turned off specifically by Trump. Here's a broader question for you. Why was that happening in the first place? Why was the federal government paying 250 people in North Alabama's electric bill? Is that what the federal government should be doing? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. We should not be instinctively defending anything that is in our backyard. That doesn't make any sense. You have to go after the things that are actually valid uses of taxpayer dollars. We are $38 trillion in debt because we aren't doing that. And now that it's starting to happen, people like Rachel Maddow are pretending that the sky is falling completely. That's not what's happening. The freak out is happening. That is true. Let's watch and see what actually happens here before we start absolutely freaking out like our friends in the mainstream media are doing right now. They're not doing this because they believe it. They're doing it because they think it is beneficial to them politically. They're going to defend any cuts and say that they're wrong no matter what they are. It does not matter. This is their role right now. And we just have to push through it and see what these cuts are going to actually be at the end of the day. I have a feeling UAB's cuts will not be all that drastic. I have a feeling that Redstone Arsenal's cuts won't be all that drastic. But these people will pretend otherwise no matter what happens.